Welcome to the course for PowerShell automation for Azure SQL Server DBA with networking concepts. So in this model, we are going to learn how the data synchronization is happen in always on, right? If it is there in the async mode or synchronization mode. So we are going to start the session now. And this session is going to be very, no, it is for the interview purpose. This is very, very important, right? So what I'm going to do, I will open my picture also, which one I have to explain. Okay, this is the picture. I will uh, do this one. Okay, fine now. Okay, so first of all, what is going to be happened here? Why we are using the always on? You already know that, right? So always on is going to be used for high availability, and people will use for disaster recovery also, right? We are not going inside that why it is using and how it is using, but we are going to learn about working of this always on, how data is going to be moved, and how data synchronization it is going to be take places in always on, right? So coming to first means, you can see here what will be happen if I will go to my picture first. So you can see this is my application server. You can see the down which one I have created. This is nothing but it is your application server, right? And in this application server, what happened, user is going to be fired any command. So either user will use that, like a user is fired like delete, update, insert, or it will use the select statement also. But here, as an example, I am taking a user is trying to insert or DML operation. It is going to be performed by the user, right? So what is going to be happen now? Here, here once user is first user will be connect with their application server, and using application server, what user will do, user will fire some update, or it will be try to do something called insert, um, insert insert or update, and then delete operation. So there will be many operation will be performed by the user from the application server. What happen once user is going to fire the query from the application server? What is the first step your always on will do? What will be happen? Application will be connected to the primary replica by using listener or SQL Server instance name, and the user will fire the DML transaction. I think step one, there is no doubt, right? So what happened? What I want to say you, like user will connect with their application server. By how it is going to connect? It is going to connect either using the listener. Okay, listener is the features in the always on where it will connect with the only primary server, and or either using the instance name, right? After instance name, the user will fire something called update, insert, or delete DML operation, right, from the application server. Then second step, what it is going to be happen, it has to write a record to the log buffer into the primary replica. The meaning of this, what I want to tell you, if any query it is going to be fired from your application side, first log will be going to record the all record. Before going to the log file, it is writing into the log buffer, right? So second step, once the user is fired some command, insert, update, delete, the second step, it is going to be write into the log buffer, the all entry. And in the second step, it is go and write the all record into the log buffer, where this is the primary server, right? I have written here primary replica. So in the primary replica, right, in the primary replica log buffer, the entry has been be written. Then after that, what it will do, it after log buffer, it has to be write into the log file, right, of the primary replica. But this is not going to be happen. What will be happen? Before writing to the log file of the primary replica, this all record is going to be written into the log buffer of the secondary replica. That only I have written here into the third step. If you go to the third step, you can see log log buffer record will be written to the log file, but before writing, okay, sorry, log buffer record will be written to the log file, but before it's write the record into the log file in the primary replica. Okay, right to the, so what it will do, it will return to the log buffer of the each of the secondary replica. Okay, got it. So I think something I have written wrongly here. Log buffer record will be written to the log file, but before it's write the record into the log file into the primary replica, it will be written to the log buffer of the each secondary replica. Okay, and if we have multiple of secondary replica, we have individual thread for each replica and its responsibility to send the log block for the correspondence replica. The what is the meaning of this means? User is fire the command, it will be write into the log buffer. After that, it has to write into the log file, but before writing into the log file, it will go right into the log buffer of the secondary replica. If you have multiple of secondary replica, right, then what will be happen? Then multiple of thread is come into the picture, and it will try to write the record on the each of the secondary replica, right? After that, what happened? Once the log will be written into the log buffer of the secondary replica, right, then I will go to the next step. Next step, you can see here, before going to the next step, something I have written here a little bit more, so I will try to explain that also. So what it is, so when this data, whatever it is moving from your log record, whatever the record which is going to be moved from log buffer to this one, secondary server of log buffer, everything will become in the encrypted form, right? So it will be in the encrypted form. Got it? So that only I have written. It's also encrypts the record before sending to secondary replica. Okay. In the secondary replica, what will happen? Log log receives get the log record from the primary replica and write to the log buffer. Right. This is repeated on the each of the secondary replica participating in synchronous non-commit mode. This is very, very important, right? So whatever we are going to learn, whatever the thing we are learning into the synchronization non-commit mode, right? So the same thing, whatever I have explained, it is also explained the same thing only. Okay. After that, what going to be happen? Okay, after that, what is going to be happen? Okay, so in that, after that, in the fourth step, what it will do, log buffer of the secondary replica, it will return to the log buffer to log file of the secondary replica, right? So what I want to tell you, in the log buffer of the secondary replica, so whatever data is came into the log buffer of the secondary replica, what it will do, it will be written, it will be where it will be written to the, it will be written to the log. Wait one second. Okay, so so I was changing the color. So what happened, this log buffer, after log buffer, it has to be right into the log file of the secondary replica, and each of the secondary replica, each replica, right? So what happened now, what we going to be happen, and when it is going to be right into the log file, when the checkpoint will be happen, checkpoint, when the checkpoint will occurs, then only it is going to be right into the log buffer to log file, right? And there will be some other concept also, when the checkpoint will be happen, then the uh, from buffer to mdf file also data is going to be moved, right? So that thing I'm not discussing here now. I'm discussing about this always on, how the data sync will be happen. So what you understood, I will go with the first application. From the application server, user will file the command. Second, it will go and it will write into the log buffer of the primary replica. It has to write into the log file, but before writing, it will go to the secondary replica or the log buffer. And if you have multiple of secondary replica, the multiple of thread is going to be generated, and it will come here to send this all record. After that, what happened when the checkpoint is going to be occurs, this log buffer to log file, that all record is going to be moved. Once it will be written into the log file, what it will do, this secondary replica is going to be send the acknowledgement to the primary replica that my transaction is completed, right? So once this acknowledgement will come to the primary replica, then user will see one row has been committed, and after this primary replica will send that acknowledgement to the application server. The same thing only I have written here, right? From log buffer of the secondary replica, it will write to the log buffer to log file to the secondary replica on the each replica. And who is the responsible to do this? That is very, very important. That is called the reader thread. So reader thread responsibility is to move from primary to secondary, right? And it's write all changes mentioned into the log record, right? So now secondary replica will send the acknowledgement to the primary replica, the same thing which one I have explained. So once this acknowledgement will be come here, then this is going to be send the acknowledgements to the application server. So that only I want to explain it here. Now secondary replica will send the acknowledgement to the primary replica in the synchronizes data commit mode. Okay, then what it will do, primary replica will wait for the acknowledgement for the secondary replica. What happened? Due to some delay, it's moved from here to here, it's moved from here to here, it's moved from here to here, but due to connectivity issue, it's not able to send the log record. What will happen in this point? Primary replica will wait, it will go on the waiting state, and it will be wait for the acknowledgement, right? Once the acknowledgement will be come from the secondary replica, then only it will be sent that acknowledgement to the application team, like one row has been committed or modified, whatever, right? Till if it is not sending that acknowledgement, your primary replica will goes into the wait state. So that only it is written here. Okay, now secondary replica will send the acknowledgement to the primary replica in this mode, synchronous data commit mode. Primary replica will wait for the acknowledgement from the secondary replica. Okay, once primary replica receive the acknowledgement from the secondary replica, a primary replica will send the acknowledgement to the application server, and it send the transaction is completed message to the client, like one row has been affected, right? Then eight, what I have written here, the secondary replica also content, what it is content, secondary replica is also content a redo thread, right? It will be content the redo thread. And what is this redo thread? Redo thread is responsible to send that all record, right? And it is independent of the log blocking process in the SQL Server always on. So what I want to say here, if your transaction is still it is moving, you will not face any blocking, right? It will be independent. Okay. Okay, thread reads the log from the log caches. There might be a delay into the processing by the redo thread, and log record might not available into the log cache because it's already hardened to the disk. In this case, redo thread read the log blocks from the disk, right? From the disk. At this point, application will go under the wait state. So I will go to my picture. It is already here. Okay. So what you understood in this point? Okay, so your application server will send some user is going to be fire some transaction from the application server. What it will do, it will go to the log buffer, of the primary replica. After that, it has to be write into the log file of the primary replica. Before writing, it will be go and it will write the log buffer. And log buffer, once it will be written, right, then what it has to be there, it has to be, it has to write into the log file, right? It has to be write into the log file from here to here. And here also one thing is going to be happen, log buffer, it is going to be sent here, right? And after that it will go to the log file, and once the log file, it is being returned to the log file, it will be going to send the secondary replica, is send some acknowledgement to the primary replica, like acknowledgement is happened, right? It is going to be send the acknowledgement is happened. Once it is received the acknowledgement from the secondary replica, primary replica is going to be send the acknowledgement to the application, to the end user, like row has been committed. In this case, if the secondary replica is not able to send the record, what will be happen, your it will be go under the waiting state, it will be wait till acknowledgement, right? This is the working of this no synchronizes. So now we are going with the async, right? How it will be work into the async. Okay, so okay, what 3 point again we will discuss here. It's having some latency or delay. Why it's having some delay? Because it will be going to wait for commitment, right? It will be wait for acknowledgement from the secondary replica, right? If it is not get the acknowledgement, till it will be not send that this row has been committed to the user. So that's why user will face some delay into this mode, right? Second is it's having the automatic failover. So you can say this is the advantage, and you can say this is the disadvantage. And there will be one more thing, advantage is there, you will not lose to any data in this mode, because before writing to the primary, data will be written into the secondary. Okay, so I hope this is clear now for you. So now I'm going with the next mode, that is data synchronization in async data commit mode. How it will be happen here? So this is also same only, but little bit different, right? So here what will be happen? I will go to this application will connect to the primary replica by using listener or SQL Server instance name and open the DML transaction, right? Then what will happen? It will write a record to log buffer in primary replica. Same thing. So first uh, sorry, user is going to be fired some command from application server. After that, what it will happen? It will be fire, it will go to the primary replica. In the primary replica, database is there, right? So what it will do first, in the second step, it will be write the log buffer, that all record. So after that log buffer, it will be go to the log file, where it will be go when the checkpoint will occurs, right? When the checkpoint will be occurs, this all data will be moved to the log file of the database, right? So after once it is going to be received, the log file is received and data you have committed, right? So what will happen after that? This secondary replica is going to be sent the acknowledgement to the application server, right? So this will be happen directly from this side. So data will be user is going to be fired, and user is going to be do some DML operation to the primary replica of the database. It will write into the log file. After log file, it will write into the no log buffer. After log buffer, it will be going to be moved to the log file of the primary replica, right? Once it will be written here, it is going to be send the acknowledgement to the application server, right? Like one row has been committed. After that, what will be happen? That everything, whatever record will be there, it is going to be queued here, right? It is going to be queued, and this all record is going to be moved from the redo thread. That is the fifth state. So now redo thread will come into the picture, and its responsibility to send the all record from log buffer, right? Log buffer to log file. Some of the time, just think like if the checkpoint has been and data has been moved to here, then redo thread, what it will do, no, it will be go and reading the log file also. It is not like, you cannot say the redo thread responsibility to read only the log buffer. Redo thread responsibility is, if it is not find that all record here, it will be go and it will be going to read from the log file also, right? So after that, again, there is a lot of concept, it is there how the log file will work. So you can read the log file, log buffer, and pool buffer pool. Then you will understood more of the thing. Okay, so after that, this redo thread is going to be send the all record to the log file, and after that, from here it is going to be right into the log file. So what will be happen here in this case, user will not face any delay because it is not sending any acknowledgement. Secondary replica is not sending any acknowledgement to the primary replica. In the primary replica only, the commit is going to be happen, and user is getting the acknowledgement from the primary server, right? But here you will face some delay into the log, right? So you will see that you what you are going to see, you will see that log is going to be queued and it has to be sent. So people will send what is the redo thread, and people will check that redo size also, it is increasing or decreasing, which size it is receiving, and which size my redo log is no, it is increasing. So this everything user will check from the DBA, will check um, from the TSQL script, right? So I hope till here you understood how this is going to be work, guys. So that's it for the in this video. And one more thing, just I want to tell you, um, what happened. Mhm. Okay, so now one more thing I want to tell you guys. So, so I have already created multiple of video into the Udemy. You can see here there is PowerShell automation, and it is too much popular. All people is buying this. Then there is other courses is also available for DBA, that is the HTML health check report. And third, you can see that TSQL programming. And next is your professional automation for using that PowerShell automation for SQL DBA. So if you want to learn the PowerShell and you are from the SQL Server side, so these are the courses is going to become very useful for you. I have given here multiple of session like 200 script you will download here, and you can show to the in your company, right? And not only this, if you have any issue, right, you can call me on the on my number, and I will put my number here. My number is 9632762817. You can just ping me on WhatsApp, and I'm going to provide you coupon code for any of this course. So what will happen, your price will be reduced to more than 80%. So if the Udemy is charging too much, you will get the lot of reduced into the price. That is the one thing. Second thing, you can email me if you want to email. My email address is PowerShell for SQLDBA at the rate gmail.com. Either you can just ping me, email me on this, or otherwise I have one more email, that is PowerShell for SQLDBA at the rate gmail.com. You can just email me also. And for this, I'm giving one offer. I have now 4 courses available here, right? I have now 4 courses available. That everything I will give you the link into the description box. So in this four, if you are taking from 2 courses from my coupon, anyhow you will get 80% discount, right? If you will use my coupon, I will give you 2 more courses of my courses totally free free of cost. So just buy 2 courses. Even you will get the 80% discount on the 2 courses, and you will get the 2 course free. But you have to send me you have taken this course, the both screenshot, right? So if you will do, then then it is good for you to learning these things, right? So please go and watch that. Anyhow, this course is already available now in business. So if you want to learn this, right, so if you want to enroll this course from your office also, if your office they have given you can just go and you can watch from the office email in the Udemy. If they have given the access to the from your office, so directly you can go to this and you can subscribe, because this is coming under the premium now. So thanks for watching this video. Please continuous watch my video, and please subscribe this channel and like this channel. Thank you.